Federal Premium Ammunition, surgical precision, terminal results. Bushnell, performance is the only thing. Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters.
Hi folks, thanks for joining us here at Federal's Trigger Effect. This week we've got a great hunt planned for you. We're here with Wild Boar Adventures and we're going to be going after some big old hogs.
That's right, and it's not our first time here. Kelly is a longtime friend of ours. We've filmed multiple episodes with him. Yeah. And I know for Kent and I, we love hunting wild boar, and I think even more we like eating wild boar.
You bet. Coffee. It's a little bit overcast this morning. We're going to head out and probably go check the north end of the lake. Dean and I have hunted here before and seems to be a lot of pig activity up at that end of the lake, so just getting some coffee into us, getting ourselves woke up, and we'll head out and see what we can find for these wild boars. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, we're coming out getting all our gear together. I look over and there's a red fox standing there watching us. So I don't know, he seems to be hanging around camp. We saw him last night when we first got here, so he might be smelling some of that dog food that's there. So I threw a couple handfuls over for him. Got to help him with the wildlife here and there. Well, we got a bit of a breeze today, but it was pretty cloudy this morning when we got up, but it's looking like it's going to be a nice day, but a little bit of wind. Well, as I've said before, Dean and I have hunted here earlier this year, and what we noticed was there was a lot of hog activity at the north end of this pond. So we're going to go set up a blind this morning, hunt out of the blind for a few days and see if we can't get those hogs to come out quietly in front of us. If not, we might have to do a run and gun and try and find where these pigs are, but pretty sure that there's going to be lots of pig sign at the north end of the lake. It's a good spot to start our hunt with, so I'm going to go and get this all set up. Well, we've just dropped over a hill. We're getting close to the north end of the lake, and you can already smell the hogs around here, so they're probably fairly close, so we're going to be really quiet. Try and sneak in, get the blind set up quietly and out of sight, and hopefully we'll get some pigs on the ground here right away. We've got a good strong wind in our face. There's been hogs here. We can see some wallow spots down in the mud along the edge of the lake, so again, we're gonna sit it out. Hopefully these hogs will work their way around the lake. Got a really good view here. We can see pretty much the entire lake shore. There's one corner we can't, but it's about a 200-yard shot in any direction, so This is hog hunting 101. We're gonna sit and wait for them to come to us instead of chasing them around. I just looked up and spotted, looks like 3 smaller pigs along the edge of the lake. They just come out of the trees and they're kind of working their way around the edge. Kind of going back and forth, not sure if they're going to come this way or go all the way around the other side, but not what we're looking for. We're looking for a couple big boars in here, but you never know. They could be with that group just up in the trees. So we'll just keep eyes on them, sit tight. It's a beautiful day to be out in the blind. Well, we had a good morning sit. We saw a few hogs out along the edge of the lake, nothing close to us. We're gonna head back, have a bit of a bite for lunch, and then maybe go check out another area.
This segment is brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition, Surgical Precision, Terminal Results.
There's lots of sign in here, lots of movement. Well, we've changed up the location for today. We're going to be in an elevated box blind over top of a watering kind of a wallow hole, but it's in the trees, so we should get some protection from the wind today. It says it's going to blow 60-kilometer-an-hour gusts all evening, so this is probably our best bet to find pigs that don't want to come out in the open in this wind. So we're going to get up here, get settled in, sit for the evening. If nothing happens in the next few minutes, we're gonna head back to camp, have a good hot meal, and be back out in the morning chasing these hogs. It's not a slam dunk. These hogs are a lot of fun. They're a good challenge, but we know they're here. We'll find them. Well, that's how quick it happens. We just about got back to the truck and there was some pigs right out in the open. I thought I hit him that first shot, not sure. Definitely hit him that second shot. I could hear the thump, but that's a nice looking boar, kind of a silvery color looking one. We've only got a couple seconds left of light, so we're gonna have to get over here and check for blood, but I think I got my pig. Yes. We decided to play it safe and return in the morning during daylight hours. Hogs can be especially dangerous when they're wounded. Well, we're about 80 yards down from the ridge where the hog entered into the trees. There was good blood there last night, but unfortunately we got some rain late last night, early this morning, so the blood is kind of washed out. But what we're doing is we're tracking his running track on the trails. You can see where he's been scuffing the dirt, and it's quite pronounced compared to the packed down trails. So we're hoping that this is the trail he's on because all the blood's been washed away. So we just keep keep going this direction. He's going downhill, so it's a good sign that it's probably him. Actually, there's some blood. I think he's slowing down. So this is definitely him running down this trail. This is a good example of really good scuff. This hog's been running. We found some blood just a little further back. He's really dropped straight down the hill here now, so I don't think he's going to be far. Well, there he is, right there. Piled up off of the trail. Well, there it is, folks. Once again, Wild Boar Adventures comes through. I mean, we had an awesome day of hunting. We saw pigs everywhere, a bunch of little ones. We saw some big ones at last light. Took a couple shots at this guy, made a good hit. He only went about 100 yards into the trees. It was an easy recovery. Unfortunately, it was an uphill pull, so I'm a little sweaty right now, but beautiful hog, great shape. Couldn't be happier. Now Dean's up to bat.
Taxidermy services provided by Hunters Union and Ray Weens Taxidermy. And thanks to these other fine sponsors.
Well, as you can see, we have an absolutely stellar evening here in Saskatchewan with Wild Boar Adventures. Up and behind is our Primo surround view blinds, so we're going to get ready for a beautiful evening sit. We have about 4 hours until the end of legal shooting, and we're going to be over top of some big natural openings with poplar ridging in it. We do know the wild boar like to come out at last light, especially the big boars. So let's head on up there and enjoy a nice evening sit. I have to admit, Kent, I'm pretty excited. We're set up here for boar at Kelly's Outfit in Saskatchewan, and you know what? Wild boar never gets tiring. I mean, we've been filming for almost 10 years. We love hunting wild boar. Yeah. We've hunted them literally all over the world.
I know, and it's kind of funny that you can take the same species and hunt it all over the world, like you said, but what's really cool is they don't originate all over the world.
That actually sounds like a great topic for Lethbridge College's Conservation Connection.
So wild boars first came to Canada from Europe in the 1980s and 90s, mainly to diversify our livestock production. Some of them were also brought across for penned hunting operations. More recent research shows now that they've spread across the landscape, extending from BC in the west to Ontario and Quebec in the east. They're mostly confined to south central Saskatchewan, and their range generally covers an area of about 750,000 square kilometers.
Due to man's introduction of wild boar around the globe, it is now one of the widest ranged mammals in the world.
Males have territories approximately 300 square kilometers, females more in the 230 square kilometer range. These wild boars are thought of as an ecological disaster. They're prolific breeders, which makes them very successful invaders of our natural ecosystems, but they're also very hardy even in the harsh winter conditions. They'll do a behavior called making pigloos, where they actually burrow in the snow to hold over during deep freezes in the winter.
Wild boar have a long history of association with humans, having been the ancestors of most domestic pig breeds.
In terms of the negative effects they have on the landscape, they can cause things like soil erosion, lowered water quality, and even destroy crops. In some cases, they've been documented eating small mammals, amphibians, and even reptiles in many cases. At present, they're now firmly established in our prairie provinces, so Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba.
As of 1990, 16 different subspecies of wild boar are recognized, and they're grouped into 4 different geographic zones.
And hunting is one of the many necessary management tools needed to take quick action if we want to stop the spread before it's too late.
Well, if you're wondering if these surround view blinds work, I'm pretty sure they do, because that red fox is only about 10 yards from us, and he has no idea we're here. He can't see us, but we can see him. Well, we have about an hour and a half left. The weather's changed a little bit. It's still clear with some clouds, but the wind has died right down, which is really nice. Temperature has dropped. We haven't seen anything yet, except for a little red fox that visited us. He kind of chilled around, gave us some entertainment for a bit. But, you know, we're heading into that witching hour. Really nice not having the wind. We don't have to worry about being drift of the bullet or anything, or freezing like we did last night. But, I don't know. This wild boar just seems to be really my arch nemesis. I'm not sure why. Oh, cross our fingers. Hopefully I'll be able to go home with some bacon to put on a table. He's right down the edge. I'm looking. Is that a boar? Yeah, it is.
This segment is brought to you by King's Camo. See the difference. Now, back to Bushnell's Trigger Effect.
Well, we just had a fairly good-sized group go by us. There was 2 smaller boars and mostly sows and little ones. I opted not to take the smaller boar, so we've got about another 15-20 minutes of legal shooting and then we're done, so hopefully something else comes out, but it's getting down to the skinny, that's for sure. I don't know where he went. He took right off. Oh well. Well, we are literally... Oh, there's one. There's a big one out there. Right out there. Well, it was last night and we had that group come back out and, well, I'll tell you, I had a hard time even seeing them through the scope. We have literally about 4 minutes of legal shooting left. I guess the only thing we can do is go over and have a look, so. Boy, that's a last minute shot, that's for sure.
Well, we apologize that there was no real follow-up to finding them, but we basically rushed over here because I shot it with about 4 or 5 minutes of legal light left. Well, folks, as you can see, it's the next day. We did actually recover this boar right after the shot. It only went about 40 yards, but it's such a beautiful smoky color, typical European looking boar that we wanted to do the talk for people to really enjoy the look at this pig instead of in the headlights of a truck. But boy, I'll tell you, what an absolutely amazing hunt. You know, I got to do a few different styles. We did, you know, hunting some pinch points. We did a little bit of spot and stalk. And then, of course, we sat in the good old Primo surround view blind with their shooting sticks. And I had the opportunity literally at last light to, you know, fulfill another Saskatchewan wild boar here with Kelly Reedman and Wild Boar Adventures. And I really do want to say thank you as well to our title sponsors, Federal. The one thing Kent and I always put a lot of confidence in is their rounds, and especially the Federal Premium Trophy Bonded Tip. We've proven that type of ammunition, factory straight, buying from a store, all over the world. And this hog is a prime example. They're a tough critter. It was about a 200-yard shot. He only went about 35-40 yards and piled right up. But other than that, that's it. This wraps up my wild boar hunt here in Saskatchewan this year with Kelly. I couldn't be happier. I'm going to be going home with some good bacon, good ham. You just can't beat the victuals of wild boar. Well, Kent, Kelly did it again. What an absolutely amazing hog hunt. I mean, you and I have hunted hogs all over the world. It's one of our favorite things. But I have to admit, Kelly's place, Wild Boar Adventures, one of our favorites to come to. And we're going home with some incredible table fare.
You bet. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I love hunting with you, and especially here. We want to thank Kelly, but we also want to thank our sponsors that make all this happen. And we want to thank you, the viewers, for joining us. And make sure you come back next week for more Federal's Trigger Effect.
This has been a Thunder Boys production.